My name is Alice Warner. I'm 29 years old. On February 2nd, 2026, I gave birth to my son at 28 weeks. He weighed 2 pounds, 4 ounces. His skin was paper thin. The doctors said he might not survive the night. That same evening, I called my mother from the NICU, crying so hard I could barely speak. I begged her to come. She answered without missing a beat. "Alice, we're not coming. Your sister's gender reveal is this weekend. We've already spent thousands on it and invited 70 guests. Ivy's baby is healthy and perfect. We're not canceling a celebration just because yours is premature and probably won't make it. Stop being dramatic and handle it yourself." For 19 days, I sat alone beside my fragile son while machines kept him alive. My mother and sister spent those same days smiling for Instagram at cake tastings and balloon arches. On day 20, a nurse handed me a stuffed bear and a sealed letter from my father's office. And what they discovered after that flipped my entire world upside down. Before I take you back and tell you everything, if you are already feeling that knot in your stomach and want to hear how this story unfolds, please hit the like button right now. Subscribe if you want more real stories like this, and drop a comment telling me where you're watching from and what time it is there. I read every single one. It really means a lot to me. Now, let me take you back to where it all began. I need to back up. Not far, just enough for you to understand what kind of family I come from. The kind that looks perfect in Christmas cards. The kind where my mother, Helen, volunteers at church fundraisers and my father, Douglas, is a respected accountant with his own firm. The kind where my younger sister, Ivy, has 385,000 Instagram followers and gets paid to post photos of her pregnancy glow. The kind where I've always been the afterthought. I met my husband, Nathan, 5 years ago. He's a paramedic. Works 24-hour shifts at the fire department. He has the kind of steady, quiet strength that doesn't need to announce itself. When I told my parents we were engaged, my mother said, "That's nice, honey," and went back to helping Ivy plan her latest business venture. When we got married in 2023, we paid for it ourselves. $8,000 for a small ceremony. My mother spent most of the reception on her phone dealing with one of Ivy's breakups. She left early to comfort her. I told myself it didn't matter. I told myself I was being sensitive. I told myself that's just how she is. I was wrong. But I didn't know how wrong until February 2nd, 2026. The morning my water broke, I was at school. I'm an elementary school teacher. 2nd grade. I was writing vocabulary words on the board when I felt it. 28 weeks pregnant. 12 weeks too early. Nathan met me at the hospital. He was still in his paramedic uniform, coming straight from a call. There was someone else's blood on his sleeve. He held my hand through the emergency C-section. They put up a sheet so I couldn't see. I felt pressure. I felt tugging. I felt nothing. Then I heard it. Not a cry. A sound like a kitten mewing. Weak. Desperate. 2 pounds, 4 ounces, someone said. I didn't get to hold him. They whisked him away before I even saw his face. Nathan followed the team to the NICU. I lay on the table, numb from the waist down, staring at the ceiling tiles while they stitched me up. By the time they wheeled me to recovery, it was 9:47 p.m. Nathan came back alone. His face told me everything. "He's alive," Nathan said, "but he's on a ventilator. His lungs aren't developed. They're doing everything they can. The next 72 hours are critical." At 11:47 p.m., they finally let me see him. They wheeled me to the NICU in a hospital bed because I couldn't walk yet. The nurse helped me into a wheelchair, showed me how to scrub my hands and arms for 3 minutes, how to put on the gown, how to move quietly. His isolette was in the corner, clear plastic box with portholes for hands. Inside was my son, 2 pounds, 4 ounces. His entire body would fit in Nathan's palm. His skin was translucent. I could see his veins, his ribs, his heart beating under paper-thin skin, tubes everywhere, breathing tube down his throat, IV lines in his hand, his foot, wires attached to his chest, monitors beeping, numbers I didn't understand. The nurse, Jennifer, showed me how to reach through the porthole, how to touch him gently because his skin could tear. I put my finger against his palm. His hand was smaller than my thumb. Talk to him, Jennifer said. He knows your voice. I couldn't speak. I just sat there crying, silent, shaking, crying. Nathan stood behind me with his hand on my shoulder. At 6:22 a.m. on February 3rd, after Nathan left for a shift he couldn't miss, I called my mother. She answered on the fourth ring. Her voice was groggy. Alice, it's so early, what's wrong? Mom. I could barely get the word out. The baby came. He's in the NICU. He's so small. The doctors don't know if he'll make it. Please come. I need you. Silence. Then, oh honey, I'm sorry, but we can't come right now. It's just terrible timing. Your sister's gender reveal is this Saturday, and we have so much to do. We've already put deposits down, invited 70 people. It's going to be beautiful. Ivy's worked so hard on this. I thought I'd misheard. Mom, my son might die. Don't say things like that. The doctors will take care of him. You need to trust them and stop panicking. We'll try to visit next week, after the party. Ivy needs us right now. You understand? She hung up. I sat there in the NICU holding my phone, staring at the screen. The call duration read 4 minutes, 18 seconds. Nathan came back that evening. I told him about the call. He went very still. Then he said, "That's not normal. You know that's not normal, right?" I didn't answer, because somewhere deep down I'd always known I wasn't the daughter they needed. The first 3 days were a blur of terror. Learning NICU protocols, the hand-washing ritual, the gowning procedure, the visiting hours, the sounds of alarms from other babies' monitors, the quiet, tense conversations between nurses and doctors using words I didn't understand. Respiratory distress syndrome, intraventricular hemorrhage, necrotizing enterocolitis, patent ductus arteriosus. Nathan pulled double shifts to cover the medical bills. Our insurance covered 80%. 20% of a NICU stay is still devastating. He'd come straight from 24-hour shifts, exhausted, smelling like smoke or diesel or other people's emergencies, and sit beside me in the NICU. He'd fall asleep in the chair with his hand on my shoulder. On day 3, my son had an apnea episode. His breathing just stopped. The monitor alarm screamed. Jennifer rushed over and stimulated him, rubbing his back, his feet, and he started breathing again. She taught me how to do it, how to watch for the signs, how to respond. It's normal for micropreemies, she said. His brain forgets to tell his body to breathe. He'll grow out of it. I called my mother that afternoon, told her what happened, told her I was terrified. Alice, you're being so strong, she said. Her voice was distracted. I heard background noise, music, laughter. We're just slammed with party prep. You understand, right? Ivy's only doing this once. It has to be perfect. We'll be praying for you. That evening, Ivy posted an Instagram story. A video of my mother laughing in a party supply store, trying on a sash that said Grandma to Be in sparkly letters. The caption, "Mom makes everything more fun." I watched it in the NICU bathroom, the only place I could cry without the nurses seeing. On day 4, Nathan did something I didn't ask him to do. He called my parents on speakerphone while we sat in the NICU family room. My father answered, "Nathan, how's Alice?" "She's not good, Douglas. Your grandson is fighting for his life and she's doing this alone. Are you coming or not?" I heard my father exhale. "We want to. But Helen has her heart set on this party being perfect for Ivy. Things are just very stressful right now. We're trying to keep peace. Peace, Nathan repeated. His voice was flat. Your daughter is sitting next to a plastic box watching her son try to breathe, and you're worried about peace. That's not fair, my mother's voice cut in. She'd been listening. We'll come next week, after the party. We already committed to people. Ivy needs us. Nathan hung up. Those next days in the NICU blurred into a nightmare that wouldn't end. Ethan fought for every single breath. Apnea episodes made his tiny chest go still without warning. Infections sent his temperature spiking. Bradycardia alarms screamed as his heart rate plummeted. Every monitor beep felt like my own heart stopping with his. I called my parents again and again. Every conversation was the same script. We're busy preparing for Ivy's gender reveal. We've already put down deposits and invited 70 guests. Ivy needs us right now. You're strong, Alice. The doctors will take care of everything. Meanwhile, Ivy's Instagram became a knife twisting in my chest. Story after story showed my mother laughing in party supply stores, trying on sparkly grandma-to-be sashes, tasting cakes, choosing between blush and sage balloons. They were building a perfect celebration for a healthy baby while their own grandson lay fragile in an isolette, fighting for his life with tubes covering his paper-thin body. Nathan watched it all in silence. Starting from day 4, he began writing everything down in his small pocket journal. Every call, every excuse, every Instagram post. One night, he showed me the pages. On the left were Ethan's medical crises. On the right was the timeline of party planning. The contrast was brutal, impossible to deny. Slowly, I stopped crying. Something colder and clearer took its place. I scrolled through old family photos on my phone. Birthdays, graduations, holidays. For the first time, I didn't try to convince myself that I was just being too sensitive. By day 12, after Ethan had the worst night yet, his heart rate dropping so low the code team had to rush in, I received a cheerful text from Ivy. Can't wait for you to see the party setup. Mom outdid herself. That was the moment something inside me finally shattered. I stopped calling. I stopped begging. I stopped making excuses for them. Instead, I started preparing. I saved every screenshot, every story, every message. I created a folder on my phone simply titled Evidence. Nathan's journal became my second Bible. By day 19, even though Ethan was still very weak, he was stable enough for me to make a decision that would change everything. I was going to that gender reveal party. And I was not going empty-handed. If you're watching this and feeling angry for me right now, or if you've ever been in a situation where your family chose someone else over you, drop a in the comments. Let me know I'm not alone. Day 20 started quietly. My son's fever was down. His white blood cells were improving. Not out of danger, but stable. Better. I was sleeping in the chair beside his isolette when Jennifer walked in at 10:31 a.m. Alice? I jerked awake. She was holding a small stuffed bear and a manila envelope. This came for you this morning, from a courier. He said it was important, personal. Asked me to hand-deliver it to you specifically. I took the envelope. It was 9 by 12, manila, marked, personal and confidential. For Alice Warner only, do not forward. The return address was printed in the upper left corner. Warner and Associates, accounting firm, my father's office. The stuffed bear was small, brown, wearing a tiny NICU graduate cap. My hands were shaking. Inside the envelope, a cashier's check paper clipped to typed pages. The check was for $28,000. The pages, 3, single-spaced. Title at the top of the first page, To my daughter Alice. The truth I should have told you 29 years ago. I started reading. The letter began with a name I'd never heard. Lily. My father wrote about a baby girl born March 15th, 1996. Beautiful. Healthy. Their first child. His joy. My mother's everything. Then July 22nd, 1996. Helen put Lily down for her afternoon nap. Checked on her 2 hours later. Lily was gone. SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome. The autopsy confirmed it. Nothing they could have done. Your mother found her. My father wrote. I was at work. The scream I heard on the phone. I'll never forget it. By the time I got home, the coroner was there. Lily was 4 months, 7 days old. They took her body. Your mother collapsed. She was hospitalized for 3 weeks. Psychiatric hold. She couldn't eat, couldn't speak. Just stared at Lily's empty crib. The letter included a photocopy of Lily's death certificate. Cause of death: sudden infant death syndrome. Date: July 22nd, 1996. I was holding proof of a sister I never knew existed. My father's letter continued. The doctors said she'd heal. They were wrong. She never healed. She just buried it. And then she made a decision that changed everything. I turned to page 2. My mother refused therapy, refused support groups. Instead, she insisted on getting pregnant immediately. She wanted to fix the loss. She stopped birth control in November 1996, got pregnant in February 1997. I was born June 18th, 1997. 11 months and 27 days after Lily died. She named you Alice Lily Warner, my father wrote. Your middle name is Lily. She never uses it. She can't. Every time she looks at you, she sees what you're not. You weren't supposed to be Alice. You were supposed to be Lily, version 2. A do-over. A chance to undo death. I knew it was wrong. I said we should wait. She said, I need my baby back. I thought she meant she needed a baby. She meant she needed her baby. The one she lost. You were born into a ghost's shadow. You never had a chance to just be you. The letter included a photocopy of my birth certificate. Full name: Alice Lily Warner. I'm 29 years old. I'd never seen my full birth certificate. Never knew my middle name. I kept reading. I watched her compare you to Lily every day. Your milestones, your features, your temperament. When you didn't match, she pulled away. By age 2, you were difficult. Lily had been easy. It wasn't true. You were normal. You just weren't Lily. Page 3. When Ivy was born in August 2002, your mother finally smiled again. Really smiled. Because Ivy wasn't a replacement. Ivy was new. Fresh. No ghost. Helen bonded immediately. I watched you, age 5, become invisible overnight. Ivy gets the love you should have gotten. Because you remind your mother of death. Ivy reminds her of life. I'm a coward. I should have left her. I should have protected you. Instead, I kept peace. I told myself you were strong enough to handle it. That was my failure. My unforgivable failure. The letter explained the $28,000, my father's secret savings, accumulated over 12 years, hidden from my mother in an account she didn't know existed. His escape fund he never used. Now mine. The final paragraph. I couldn't visit your son because your mother can't face fragile babies. She's terrified. When you said he was premature, she shut down. It's Lily all over again. She chose Ivy's party because it's safe, healthy, not a reminder of trauma. I should have come anyway. I didn't. I chose her comfort over your need. Again. I'm giving you this money and this truth. I can't undo the past, but I can stop participating in your erasure. The choice is yours now. Whatever you decide to do with this information, I'll accept. You deserved better. You deserve to be Alice, not Lily 2.0. I'm sorry, Dad. I sat in the NICU for 3 hours. Rereading, Processing. Jennifer checked on me twice. I didn't speak. Nathan arrived at 2 p.m. His shift had ended. He looked exhausted. I handed him the letter. I watched his face change as he read, watched his jaw tighten, watched his hands grip the pages. Jesus fucking Christ, Alice. I was born to replace a dead baby. You were born to parents who should never have had another child. This isn't about you. This is about them. She couldn't visit Ethan because he's fragile, like Lily was. She abandoned you when you needed her most because she's a coward. I pulled out my phone, opened the evidence folder, 47 items, looked at the letter in Nathan's hands, looked at Ethan in his isolette. I'm going to the party tomorrow, I said. What are you going to do? I'm going to read this, all of it, out loud, in front of everyone. Alice. They chose a performance over their grandson. I'm going to give them a performance they'll never forget. What would you do if you discovered you were born to replace a sibling who died? Drop your honest thoughts in the comments. Would you still go to that party? Type yes or no. This twist changed everything for me. Day 21, I researched SIDS, spent hours reading medical journals, support group posts, parental trauma responses. I learned about the guilt, the terror, the way grief breaks some people so completely they can never find all the pieces. I understood my mother's fear. I understood, but I didn't forgive. She had 29 years to heal, I told Nathan. 29 years to get help. She chose to have me instead. She chose to resent me instead of facing her grief. I understand. I don't accept it. I found an archived post from 1997 on a SIDS support forum, a mother writing, I got pregnant again too fast. My rainbow baby deserves better than a broken mother, but I can't bond with her. She's not the one I lost. I wondered if my mother wrote it. I created a timeline on paper. Lily's death. July 22nd, 1996. My conception, February 1997, 7 months later. My birth, June 1997, 11 months after Lily died. Then I added, Ethan's birth, February 2nd, 2026. Gender reveal, February 24th, 2026. 2 timelines, same pattern of trauma and avoidance. On day 22, the NICU social worker Diane came for a routine check-in. I broke down, told her everything, showed her the letter. She read it, went pale. Alice, you understand this is profound psychological damage, right? Being born as a replacement child, that's documented trauma. I just thought I wasn't good enough. You were never given the chance to be enough. You were competing with a ghost. She gave me 3 pamphlets. Understanding Replacement Child Syndrome. Narcissistic Family Dynamics. Setting Boundaries with Toxic Parents. First time I'd named it, toxic. What are you going to do? Diane asked. I'm going to tell the truth. Publicly. That's your right. Just know. It will end relationships. Permanently. Good. They ended first. 29 years ago. That evening, alone with Ethan, I talked to him about Lily, about being a replacement, about choosing different. Your name is Ethan James Fletcher. Ethan means strong, firm, enduring. James is your daddy's middle name. Fletcher is our name. You're not named after anyone dead. You're not replacing anyone. You're the original, the only. Do you understand? I'm going to make sure you never feel like a consolation prize. Like I did. I placed my hand on the isolette. Ethan's tiny hand moved, fingers spreading. I cried. Not sad tears, determined tears. I opened my phone, started writing exactly what I was going to say. Opening line. My name is Alice Lily Warner. Most of you don't know my middle name. Let me tell you why. On day 23, I finalized the plan. Ethan was improving. Doctors cautiously optimistic. Weight back to 2 pounds, 4 ounces. I told Nathan, I'm bringing Ethan to the party. He went very still. Alice, no, absolutely not. He's 21 days old and barely 3 pounds. A room full of 70 people? That's RSV, flu, COVID. He could die from an infection. I know the risks. Do you? Because I've responded to calls where preemies get sick and crash in hours. Is this confrontation worth his life? They need to see him. He's not abstract. He's real. He's the grandson they abandoned. Then we do it safely, or we don't do it at all. We compromised. I called Dr. Patel, the neonatologist. Is he stable enough for a brief outing? She checked his chart. His labs from this morning show no active infection. Lungs are improving. If you absolutely must, keep it under 30 minutes. Maintain distance. No contact with others. Watch for any distress signs. I don't love it, but if you're careful. The rules. Ethan stays in car seat carrier with breathable muslin cover. Arrive at 2 p.m., leave by 2:30 p.m. maximum. Baby stays 6 feet from all guests. No one touches him. Hand sanitizer constantly. First sign of distress, we leave immediately. His safety is first. Your confrontation is second. Agreed? Agreed. I packed the diaper bag. Preemie diapers. Fortified formula. Portable oxygen monitor. Hand sanitizer. My father's letter in a folder. Nathan's documentation printed out. USB drive with IV's screenshots. Phone, fully charged. That evening at 10 p.m., I texted my mother. I'll be at the party tomorrow, wouldn't miss it. She responded immediately. Oh, wonderful. We can't wait to see you. I stared at the heart emoji. You have no idea what's coming. I typed, 2 p.m. sharp. See you there. February 24th, 2026. Party day. The venue was upscale, blush and sage decorations, balloon arch at the entrance, a sign, boy or girl, let's reveal baby Caldwell. Nathan and I arrived at exactly 2 p.m. I was carrying Ethan in his infant car seat, covered with a muslin blanket. Nathan carried the diaper bag, actually the evidence bag. We were underdressed. I wore clean jeans and a sweater. Nathan wore a button-down. Everyone else was in cocktail attire. My mother saw us enter. Her face lit up. She rushed over. Alice, you came, and you brought... She reached for the carrier. I stepped back. Don't touch him. Her smile froze. Ivy appeared, radiant in a maternity dress. Alice, you made it. She hadn't noticed the baby yet. Nathan and I stayed at the periphery. I observed, professional photographer, 3-tier cake, catered food stations, branded party favors, matching outfits on Ivy and my mother. My father saw me. He approached cautiously. I handed him his letter without speaking. He understood. Alice, Not yet. After. What are you going to do? What you should have done. Tell the truth. At 2:17 p.m., Ivy took photos with my mother for Instagram. I saw her screen. The caption being drafted, "The reveal with my best friend, my mom, is happening in 10 minutes. I'm crying." I screenshotted it. At 2:20 p.m., the event coordinator announced, "Everyone gather for the reveal in 5 minutes." Nathan whispered, "Now?" After the reveal, let them have their moment. Then I take mine. At 2:25 p.m., the reveal began. Ivy and her fiancé Austin stood behind the cake. My mother beaming. Photographer positioned. Guests recording on phones. Countdown from 10. Knife cuts cake. Pink layers inside. It's a girl. Ivy screamed. My mother cried happy tears. Everyone applauded. Perfect moment. I watched from the back of the room, holding Ethan's carrier. At 2:28 p.m., Ivy started her thank you speech. I want to thank my amazing mom who made this whole day. I stepped forward from the back of the room. Ivy stopped mid-sentence. Every head turned. Pause for a second. If you were in my place, would you have confronted them like this in front of everyone? Type confront, if yes, or walk away, if you would have left quietly. I want to know what you would do. I walked to the front, placed Ethan's carrier on the table next to the cake, pulled back the blanket, gasps. A tiny premature baby, wires from his home monitor visible, oxygen tube in his nose. My mother's face went white. Ivy. Alice, what? Keep going, Ivy. Thank Mom. For this $15,000 party she planned while my son was dying. Whispers. Is that a baby? He's so small. My mother's voice shaking. Alice, this isn't the time. No? When is the time, Mom? You've had 19 days. You chose 19 days of cake tastings over 19 days in a NICU. So we're doing this now. I pulled my father's letter from the bag, held it up. My father sent me a letter 3 days ago. It explained everything. Why you couldn't visit. Why you've never loved me. I'm going to read it. Right now. All of it. I began. To my daughter Alice. The truth I should have told you 29 years ago. I read every word. Lily's death. My birth as replacement. My middle name. 29 years of comparison. Ivy as the real daughter. My mother's trauma. My father's cowardice. The money. The confession. 70 people heard everything. My mother tried to interrupt. Alice, stop. I didn't stop. I read about being born 11 months after a dead baby. About never being enough. About being invisible because I reminded her of death. 4 minutes, 11 seconds. At the 2:37 p.m. mark, during the section about being a replacement child, my mother collapsed into a chair. My father stood frozen. Ivy was crying, confused. Guests, horror, shock, uncomfortable silence. I finished reading, folded the letter, looked at my mother. You couldn't visit your premature grandson because he reminded you of the daughter you lost 30 years ago. You chose a party for the daughter you could love over the daughter you never could. So here's my choice. I address the room. This is my son, Ethan James Fletcher. He was born February 2nd at 2 pounds 4 ounces. He's 22 days old. My parents haven't met him. Not because they couldn't, because they chose not to. They chose Instagram stories and balloon arches and cake tastings, while he was on a ventilator, while I begged, while I broke. My mother couldn't face him because he's fragile, like Lily was, like I was supposed to replace. I understand trauma. I understand grief. I understand fear. But I don't understand choosing it for 29 years. I don't understand making a child pay for a loss that happened before she was born. So here's what happens now. I'm walking out. With my son. With my husband. My mother will never meet Ethan. She lost that right. My father, if he chooses therapy and accountability, maybe supervised visits. Eventually. Ivy, you're collateral damage. I'm sorry, but you benefited from a system built on my erasure. This family is over. You chose performance over presence. I choose my son. My mother lunged forward. You can't do this. You don't understand. I understand perfectly. You broke when you lost Lily. Instead of healing, you broke me too. That ends today. I picked up Ethan's carrier, turned to leave. My father stepped forward. Alice, please. I stopped. Didn't turn around. The letter was 29 years too late, but it was honest. That's more than she ever gave me. I'll call you next week. Maybe. I kept walking. Behind me, chaos. My mother screaming, sobbing. I lost a baby. I lost my baby. Guests horrified, uncomfortable. some leaving immediately, some whispering about airing dirty laundry. Ivy completely undone. Her perfect reveal destroyed. My father standing alone. Nathan and I walked out. Loaded Ethan into the car. I sat in the passenger seat shaking. "You okay?" Nathan asked. "Ask me in a year." He started the car. We drove away. In the parking lot behind us, my father walked out alone. He called my number. I didn't answer. The next 3 days were silent. I blocked my mother's number. 47 texts from my father, 23 from Ivy. I read my father's texts. Didn't respond. Day 25. Please call me. Day 26. I'm moving out. Your mother is not well. I deserve this. Day 27. I found a therapist. I should have done this 30 years ago. I'm sorry. Ivy's texts ranged from angry to confused to apologetic. Her Instagram went dark. Last post, the gender reveal photo from before the confrontation, caption deleted, comments disabled, her followers noticed. Speculation began. Nathan and I focused on Ethan. He was improving daily. Weight, 2 pounds, 9 ounces. Day 27, 11:53 p.m. I finally responded to my father. If you want a relationship with your grandson, you earn it. Therapy, accountability, and you stop protecting her. Your choice. He responded immediately. I choose you. I should have always chosen you. Day 28. Ethan came home. Weight, 3 pounds, 2 ounces. Home oxygen required. We'd prepared. Micro-preemie clothes, bassinet next to our bed, oxygen concentrator, feeding schedule on the wall. First night home was terrifying but beautiful. I held Ethan in our apartment. This is your home, your real home, where you're wanted, where you're first, where you're enough. Nathan, we're going to be okay. The 3 of us. I know. For the first time in my life, I actually know. I hung a photo in the corner we'd set up as a nursery. Ethan at 3 pounds in my arms. NICU day 27. Below it, I handwrote, Ethan James Fletcher. First of his name. Only of his name. Born February 2nd, 2026. Came home February 28th, 2026. Never a replacement. Always original. That evening, the doorbell rang. My father. Alone. Holding therapy intake paperwork. Can I meet him? Just for 5 minutes? I considered. Open the door wider. 5 minutes. You don't hold him yet. You just meet him. He came in, washed his hands, stood beside the bassinet. Ethan was sleeping. 3 pounds, 2 ounces of perfect original life. My father cried. Thank you. He whispered. Don't thank me. Earn this. Over the next week, my father visited 3 times, always supervised, always following rules, no mentions of my mother, no excuses, no minimizing. He followed them. On his second visit, he told Ethan about Lily. Honestly, I'm your grandpa. I made a lot of mistakes with your mom. I chose wrong things for 29 years. I'm choosing right now. You're perfect. Your mom is perfect. I'm sorry I forgot that. I watched. You have a long way to go. I know. I'll go as far as it takes. I saw therapy notes in his jacket pocket. Codependency. Enmeshment. Parentified child. Replacement child syndrome. He was doing the work. On day 35, he asked, Can I hold him? Ethan weighed 3 pounds, 8 ounces. Stronger. Wash your hands. Sit in that chair. Support his head. If he fusses, you give him back immediately. My father cried while holding his grandson for the first time. Thank you. Don't thank me. Earn this. Ivy texted erratically for days. Day 30. You ruined my reveal. You made everything about you. That's so typical. Day 32. Mom won't stop crying. Dad moved out. You destroyed our family. Day 34. I didn't know about Lily. I didn't know any of this. Why didn't you tell me? I finally responded, because you were protected. Like always. I was the one who paid. I'm not paying anymore. Her final text, day 35. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say. I responded. I know you are. But sorry doesn't undo 24 years of being erased. I need space. Maybe someday. Not today. I didn't block her. Left the door open. Barely. Her baby was due July 2026. I wondered if I'd be an aunt. I didn't know yet. 6 weeks after Ethan's birth, March 15th, 2026, I returned to work part-time. Ethan was 5 pounds, 1 ounce, off oxygen, thriving. Nathan's mother helped with childcare. My father visited twice weekly, supervised, earning trust slowly. My mother, no contact, no plans for contact. Ivy, occasional surface-level texts. The family was fractured, but I was free. In my classroom, a student asked about baby photos. I showed Ethan at 5 pounds, smiling. They said he was cute, asked where grandparents were. It's complicated, but he has us, and that's enough. At home that week, I received an envelope. Handwriting. My mother's. Postmarked day 42. I held it. Didn't open it. Not ready. Put it in a drawer. Maybe someday. March 18th. I officially registered Ethan's birth certificate. Full name, Ethan James Fletcher. No middle name honoring dead relatives. No Warner. Clean slate. Nathan cried reading it. You didn't give him your last name? Warner comes with ghosts. Fletcher is fresh. He's a Fletcher. Through and through. You're sure? I've never been more sure of anything. I framed the birth certificate. Hung it next to the NICU photo. 2 documents, 2 truths. He survived. I did too. I've spent a lot of time thinking about what it means to be born into grief. 11 months and 27 days after a baby died, I came into the world. I was supposed to fix what broke. But grief doesn't work that way. You can't replace a child. You can't undo death with a new birth. My mother tried anyway, and I paid for it. For 29 years, I paid. I understand her now. I'm a mother. I understand the terror of fragility, the fear of loss, the desperate need to protect what you love. But I also understand what she didn't. Fear is not an excuse for cruelty. Trauma is not permission to traumatize. Ethan will know his Aunt Lily, the baby who died before I was born. He'll know she existed. He'll know she mattered. But he'll also know he's not her. He's not replacing anyone. He's original. First. Only. That's the difference. That's what I'm choosing. Truth over performance. Healing over repetition. Love over fear. I lost my mother. Maybe I never really had her. But I found myself. And Ethan will never have to search for a mother who's present. Because I'm here. I choose here. It's been 6 weeks since I destroyed my family at my sister's gender reveal party. People keep asking if I regret it. I don't. My son is 5 pounds, 3 ounces now. He grips my finger when I hold him. He's starting to focus on faces. He's learning what love looks like. Not love that's conditional on being someone else. Not love that comes with the ghost of a dead child. Not love that requires you to earn it by being less difficult, less needy, less yourself. Just love. Clean. Simple. Present. Last night, I sat by the window holding Ethan, watching the March sunset. Nathan was cooking dinner. My father had texted, therapy homework required him to write me a letter. Could he send it? I said yes. I'd read it when I was ready. I whispered to Ethan, you're loved. Not because of who you replace, not because of what you fix, just because you're you. Ethan James Fletcher. First of your name, only of your name. That's all you need to be. His hand gripped my finger. I cried. But this time, they were healing tears. If this story made you feel seen, emotional, or gave you strength to set boundaries, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about family, healing, and choosing yourself. Drop the word boundaries in the comments if you believe it's okay to walk away from toxic family. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, share this video with them. Thank you for staying until the end. You really mean a lot to me. My name is Alice Warner. I'm 29 years old. I was born to replace a dead baby, but I chose to live as myself. And I chose to give my son something I never had: the right to be exactly who he is. No ghosts, no comparisons, no erasure, just him. Original, loved, enough. That's the story. That's the truth. That's what happened when my parents chose a party over a dying grandson, and I finally chose myself.